Hi everyone, Alan Knight here, former Zen monk turned communication coach. And I'm here and I'm going to be very authentic with all of you. This is my first go at a Face Live talk show. And this is our first shot here, so we're doing a bit of a test. Anyway, I'm very excited because we found something called Be Live TV, which is a great platform to do the show. And for example, I have a guest on today. I don't know how long we're going to do this test, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. But she's an incredible person that I met the other day. Her name is Laura, and I'm going to let her tell you what her last name is. It's kind of difficult. It's going to take me a while to learn how to communicate. And I want to communicate it properly. So I'm going to introduce her, Laura M., and I'm going to press this button, and you're going to see Laura.
Hi, Laura. I'm Laura Mugitano.
Now, if you have trouble with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are able to do this. I don't know if you know, Laura, you can't see that, but everybody could see your name at the bottom right now.
Awesome.
And so I'm really excited to introduce Laura to all of you. And now I'm going to click this button, and it puts us both together so they could see you and me. And then I could also press this button so they could see my name. So they see you, Laura, me, and Alan.
So, what an awesome platform.
I know. Laura and I have talked for a while in the last few days about the possibility of doing a show together because we have expertise that complement each other. She does a lot of work with copywriting and content, but she's a great personality. My focus has been communication. So I'm going to let Laura take over and tell you a little bit about herself and about the show that we're going to do, and then we'll go back and forth and we'll be totally spontaneous. So Laura, I want you to take it away.
Okay, well, so I am really a little bit obsessed with happiness and joy in all things, and including writing and content and communication. And Alan is a communication coach. So I just feel like this was really aligned in us doing something together and collaborating, and I'm just feeling really excited about it.
Okay, so Laura, if you don't mind, maybe tell the audience a little bit about the kind of work you've done over the years, especially when it comes to copywriting and helping people, other coaches, trainers, take their message out into the world. Because obviously what you do is all about communication. What I do is all about communication. So tell them a little bit more about the specifics of how you help people.
Okay, so I actually work with a marketing agency that is specifically designed to work with transformational leaders who want to share a heartfelt message in their marketing, who want to do marketing with integrity. So the content strategy and the copywriting and content creation that I do is about creating content and creating marketing from a place of love and joy and integrity and authenticity, so that it feels good, so that it inspires people, and it's not icky or pushy or salesy or any of those things. So tell me about what you do to help people with their communication.
Well, the thing I love about the fact that we've come together is I believe that the work that I do is primarily personal development and interpersonal skills. And I train a lot of coaches, entrepreneurs, professionals, how to master the art of communication from the inside out. But the interesting thing is that a lot of people, even if they learn to feel great about themselves, which is extremely important, and mastering their communication skills, which is extremely important, many of them are left, what do I do now? Because they still have to market themselves. They have to write, they have to do blogs, they have to create a website. Many of them want to write a book. Many of them want to have a landing page with great messaging. So everything you do complements what I do, and I think they're extremely important. But even more important to that, I'm a big believer in heart-centered relationships and communication. That's why I've launched something on the side called the Soulmate Revolution, because I believe that with all these years of focus on self-development, which I think is great. Mm-hmm. Part of the reason I've developed a 9-step inner fitness and communication mastery program is that I felt that rah-rah seminars and reading books alone won't help people to grow. They got to get into the inner gymnasium and work out. So I've developed a fast track system to be able to get into what I call that Zen zone, live in inner confidence, in inner tranquility, in inner peace, especially in this chaotic world. That's not an easy thing to do. As a former Zen monk, I learned how to take that into day-to-day life. So as people go through what I do, is they get to a high level relatively quickly of inner peace, tranquility, confidence, and mastering their communication skills. And I believe a lot of them need what you do, Laura. So the complement of both are really like a whole package, and that really excites me. Passing
Absolutely.
it off to you now. Now everybody can see you.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. Communication is so important. It's yes, you get to do the inner work, and I totally hear you on that, and you get to tune in and all of that, but then you have to be able to take that out into the world and use it effectively and communicate effectively. So it really is just a great collaboration.
So now I press a button and we see you and I together here. Why don't you say a few words about our conversations about doing the Joyful Communication Show? How do you envision that sort of coming? How do you envision that show being?
Well, first of all, I just, I feel so much joy just getting on here and talking about these things, and in communication and in writing. And I just really want people to experience that joy of communication, of connecting with people in any medium, whether it's in a space like this, or whether it's in their content that they're creating on social media, or in their relationships with their kids or their children, just really connecting with that joyful spirit that comes from connecting and communicating. That happens when you do it mindfully and with intention and with impact. So I think my vision of it is for us to share, some of our insights from what we do, and to explore that further. What do you think? What's your vision?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind when you talk about joy is that I think a lot of us forget, because we've bought into this expression, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power when we want to become an expert. If we want to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, social media expert, knowledge is power, obviously. But when it comes to personal development and relationship skills, I think the opposite is power. The heart is power. The spirit is power. Presence of mind is power. Passion is power. Compassion is power. And we don't realize sometimes that it's the intangibles that really connect. And even meeting you recently, your joy, your enthusiasm, your smile, it impacts people irrespective of what you say. And you project that, I think, a lot more than I do. I mean, I have joy in my life and I have confidence, whatever, but you radiate that. And my strength is more masterful. Not that you're not a good communicator, you're a great communicator, but I think the combination of verbal communication that oozes out from the heart and just smiling in joy, and it sort of creates a irresistible feeling that impacts people and could transform our relationships, whether they be on a dating experience, trying to attract your soulmate, being in sales, being an entrepreneur, being a parent. When you have confidence and joy and enthusiasm and the complementary wisdom to go along with that, then you could really impact all of your relationships, and we'd have a better world. So that's what excites me about doing this kind of show together.
Absolutely.
Back to you.
Absolutely.
So, Laura,
I'm completely agree with that. And I just want to say that idea of communication from the heart, I feel like is so key. And it really doesn't matter if it's in our relationships, or if it's in dating, or if it's with our kids, or if it's in business or our clients, like to just express and communicate heartfully is profound.
how do you see the talk show going? Let's say we do a 30-minute show. And the reason I'm saying this is that we might have people in the audience who will give us feedback on this.
Absolutely.
So I think we talked about the fact that a 30-minute show, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, whatever, would be good. how do you see the 30 minutes going? Tell the viewers how, some of the things we've talked about and the structure of the actual show.
Absolutely. Well, for one, I would just like to take some time to get to know each other and anybody who would hopefully be watching it, and just really kind of practice what we preach and connect and talk about a little bit about what's going on in life. And then I would again love to share some insights. You're an expert communicator. I'm an expert joy bringer. and and
you're the joy coach.
I'm the joy. I don't know about that yet. Maybe.
Passion coach.
And so I would love to do that. And then you're right. I think people might have questions. And so I would love the opportunity to speak to those questions and to answer them. And hopefully, again, it goes back to that getting to know people, actually connecting, actually sharing with one another. I think that would be fantastic. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it would. The way I envision it, we could certainly talk more about it together, is that we maybe have a theme for the show, and people can maybe even type in the kind of themes that would be really interesting to them, so that we're not just picking themes that we think are interesting, but they really have relevance to people's lives. And then we can also have part of the show answering questions. We can go back and have frick and frack and have fun with, just chatting about your life and my life and how that's going. And then also demonstrate to people maybe how to communicate effectively, because you and I are pretty good at that. We're good listeners. We listen to each other and we can communicate well. And in some ways, sometimes more importantly, is to role model effective communication. Maybe we can even do some role playing together so that people get a sense of how they might communicate on a phone call, on asking someone on a date or something, So we could have a lot of fun with it, but it'd be interesting to see what people think.
That sounds fantastic. I love that. I love the idea of role playing. I have a little bit of a passion for acting, so that would be really fun for me.
I know you sent me a link with one of your movies that was very scary. I don't know if you want to talk about it. You're really good though. So I'm really happy we had a chance to come on to this initial test. This is really a test. And we're going to take a look ourselves on Facebook to see how it came out. Hopefully it came out okay. But Laura, if people are interested in the work that you do as a copywriter, how would they connect with you?
Reach out to me on Facebook. You have my name show up on the screen, Laura Magitano. So hopefully you can spell it. And reach out, connect with me, send me a friend request, shoot me a message. I would love to hear more about what people are doing in their copy and their content.
Fantastic. And if anyone wants to get in touch with me, one way that you can access the 9-step formula that I've developed over the years is simply go to a page called whatsholdingyouback.com. We made it really easy for you. And you could put your name and email address, and you will get delivered to your mailbox 9 steps. Every second day you'll get a step. So you'll learn what those 9 steps, the first 7 have to do with empowering yourself, and step 8 and 9 have to do with empowering your communication. Laura, it was a joy to have you on the show.
Absolutely. Likewise.
And I look forward to our first one.
Me too.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.